Alright, YouTube. I was having a debate with some of the people on the New York Firearms Board about a blog copy that was posted onto the site about a specific way someone was carrying a firearm, and that they were carrying a firearm in a plastic bag as a last-ditch kind of method of concealment in a bad part of town. They said they used it in Bad World and stuff like that. A lot of people on the forum were saying, well, I think it would jam the gun would have problems operating, that kind of stuff. So I said, well, let's figure this out. Let's do it for science. Disclaimer, I believe this is a terrible way to carry, and I would never do it. But the question was asked, will it work? And we're going to test that. So we'll start out with the Glock. This is a Glock 19, chambered in 9mm. And then this is, I don't have non-opaque bags, but that won't make a difference for this time. Let me charge this up here. And let's not flag myself on this stuff here. Okay. So we have this, our bag here, concealing our handgun, theoretically, hold it loose or whatever it is, how they did it. But the concern was, will it jam? This is your standard 115 grade 9mm and Glock 19. So let's just see what happens. It appears to have cycled and just blown a hole out the front. Let's just try and shoot it again, see what happens. And the answer is, the Glock 19 functions fine, does not care. Bag kind of disintegrated at the end. Actually a little less than I was expecting. Next, we are going to try a revolver. Now, I didn't have a traditional double action revolver, so what we have here is a clone of a Colt 45 single action. So a little different, but you'll still get the side gases effect, and this does have an external hammer. So let's get this on here. Again, not flag myself. Okay. Now I'm going to do two tests with this. First, I'm going to do it with the hammer out of the way of the gas, or not trying to put it in the way, and the second time I'm definitely going to try and stuff some layers of plastic in there to see if that jams the external hammer. Okay, so here's our first test here. Got it cocked, and let's just see what happens. Oh, we have a failure. Did not go. Let's try it again. One more time. Did work this time. Blew out a hole, and yeah, you can see it blew out a hole on the side. And one more. Okay, so the answer is,
seems internal striker fired would be fine.
yeah, an internal
but external
fire
hammer might
would
jam
work.
up.
External, I don't even need to test it with the extra bags or intentionally stuffing it in there. It can cause problems for you. This does some shells in it, but we'll try that again in a second. You know what, actually, since we know it doesn't work, let's just empty this thing. Watch me shooting, enjoy the footage. I think there's one more in here. Okay, and we're up. Okay. Now, for our last test, we have something that, honestly, you're probably never going to carry this. I've heard people ask if they will carry it, but I wanted to see what would happen if we took an extremely high velocity pistol and gave it a try. Also, this is a semi-auto pistol with an external hammer. We have a Tokarev here. For those of you unfamiliar with the Tokarev, it shoots a really high velocity round. It's almost like in the rifle range. It's also a really loud gun. Alright, let's put this on without flagging ourselves here. Okay, and so let's see what happens with the Tokarev. Oh. Ah, hot shell in the casing. Empty. So we started getting some casings collecting in here. See, there's ones right there. I don't know if this happened with the Glock. I don't think it did. I think they all kicked out. I'm not. Yeah, I see them on the ground here. My concern with this would be If one in there, you could get a stovepipe situation or something like that. So, in a question of will it work, external hammer, no. Revolvers in general, I don't see why it would be an issue.
Well, the external hammer semi-auto, it did work, but it could cause problems.
It could cause problems with the external hammer as well. You could get more of that same issue with plastic catching in there if you are going to do it, which I recommend you don't under any situation. You could do it with a striker-fired handgun, and it would physically function. Do we have any 9mm left? No, we shot it all. Maybe I'll try loading a bunch of plastic bags in there in a second to see what happens. All right, but anyways, here's your test. Here's your answer. Discuss as needed. Pose questions, that kind of stuff.